going to be a little bit of a different type of video, but no part of a mortgage payoff journey is ever going to be easy. You all should be concerned if you looked at our channel and you saw nothing but happy, life is perfect type of videos. So with that, I want to make sure that we are also documenting the hard times. The reason we even created this YouTube channel was to document every single part of this journey. Obviously, we started a little late, so we ain't gonna see the whole thing. Anytime you achieve something great, there's gonna be really easy times, and there's gonna be hard times, there's gonna be highs, and there's gonna be lows. I don't know about everyone else, but for me, my job is a big part of my life. It's unfortunate it's that way, but most of us work 40 hours a week. So that's a big part of your week. Unfortunately, my job has been impacting my mental health a lot, mostly for like the past 4 to 5 months. It's unfortunate because, like I've said before, this is my 8th year with the company. So I've worked here for a while at this point, and I love the company. I really, really do. I used to advocate for it a lot. For the past 5 years, I've been in a department within fraud investigations. But unfortunately, the last time that I felt like I was truly happy was probably this time in 2022, so a little over a year ago. I do want to start by saying I am so grateful for my job. I am like literally my standards, I feel like at the same time are so low because I work from home and there's not much else I can ask for. I'm happy with the amount of money that I get paid, and I get along with my coworkers, and I work from home. Like, I really feel like working from home, you just can't ask for a whole lot. But I'm at a position where basically some of the things that I'm experiencing, I call it workplace abuse because you're understaffed, overworked. I feel like more recently, some of us have been getting kind of taken advantage of, and it's really hard because I used to be able to say that I love what I do and love the department that I'm in, but unfortunately I haven't been able to say that for a while. It has a lot of potential, and I'm at a point now where it's messing with my integrity, my morals, and something I believe in, which is just doing the right thing. Thinking about how the things that you do could impact others. It's what really eats at me, and it makes it really, really hard to feel like I really enjoy what I'm doing, and to be able to say that I love what I do. So I can't, and it's affecting my mental health. It's stressing me out. It's overwhelming. It's triggering. I almost feel like this could be a traumatic point in my life, which is bad. Not in general, but just as it associates with work. It feels a little traumatic. It's upsetting. Sometimes I feel even ashamed to be a part of it. Anyway, 4 months ago or so, I kind of had my foot out the door. Like I said, I love this company, and I wanted to move to a different department within the company. Just not being happy and just not being proud of the work I was doing, not feeling fulfilled with the work I was doing, wanting to leave that department. But another leader within the department, told me to hold off. They are in the process of creating a team that is something that I would feel more fulfilled in, and hold out for that, basically. And I trust this person a lot, and I did do so. But now that we are more so in the process of transitioning into that new role, it's not what I thought it would be, and I'm kind of doing 2 jobs in a way at this point, doing the job I was doing and this new job. Also, just kind of being pulled back and forth a lot between different roles. That isn't what I signed up for. So that's kind of goes into what I said as far as like being taken advantage of. That's how it feels, which I would never want to say that about this person, that they would even do that, because I trust them so much. But that's how it feels. And I just kind of feel like I'm at a point where I have to choose me to do what's right for me, even if I feel so guilty in the process. And that's where I'm at right now. It hurts really bad because, if you didn't know already, I'm a crier. Now you know. When I came to this department 5 years ago, I was so happy and I felt so fulfilled, and I felt like it was for me. And I felt so passionate about it, and I felt like I could take so much pride in the work I was doing, and it was perfect for me. I knew it was the position for me, and I knew that this is it. Like, this is it. like, not saying that it's something that I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, but right now this makes me so happy. This is what I want to do. I was in that same position for about 4 years, and then I got presented with another opportunity, still within the same department, but doing something a little bit different. And I did that for about 4 months. I was very happy doing that. It was even better, less calls, things like that. Like I was on the phone even less. And then I was told, like, me and one other person, there's a business need, a manager position, but it's not actually a manager position. It's just a temporary manager position for at least 90 days while it's needed. It's good for you because you can decide if you like it. If you do, you can always apply to actually be a manager. But if you don't like it, you can go back to doing what you're doing before. As a manager, of course, typically even managers have managers. And there was someone that I was working with directly that we've had our run-ins before, but I put those things aside for this new opportunity. And within 3 weeks, I was just done. This person was literally had me in tears, like just treating me so poorly, wanted nothing to do with it. The people that I was managing temporarily seemed like they didn't care about their job, the same job that I had been doing for 4 years that I loved. And they said they liked it, but wasn't putting the work in, wasn't putting the effort in. I wasn't happy. And so then that's when I decided to reach out to the manager that I had spoke about before, that I really trusted, and wanting to just kind of transition into being on that team. Still within the same department, but just kind of like a back office type of team within this department. And the short thing I can say is the grass isn't always greener. And I feel like I really just haven't been happy for a really long time, but it had so much potential in so many ways. Anyway, now where I'm at right now is that we still haven't officially started this new position, but I'm officially at a point where I'm like, you know what? I need to choose me. I want this new position really bad. And then I'm told to pause on the new position. This other department needs help. I need you to go help them. Just they need your help. It's been a long time coming, and it's been a long time of me kicking the rock down the road and be having my foot out the door, holding off, waiting. This is supposed to be my saving grace. It's not. Anyway, a lot of backstory, but in long term, it just makes me think about our goals and what we're trying to do. And it's just sometimes my mind just goes off, and I'm just like, you need a job to make money to get towards your financial goals. Obviously, our financial goal is paying off this house. We need money to do that. And maybe in a year, this won't even matter. This whole video won't even matter. But I like to document the hard times because I don't want to forget these times and just how I'm feeling in the moment, the details, the small things that impacted me so much and hurt my feelings so much and made me feel like I felt so strongly about it. Even in 30 days from now, I want to be able to look back at this video and just be so grateful and be crying tears of joy rather than stress and sad, and just be happy that I made that decision. I chose me, and I decided to move forward and do what I needed to do to just move on and leave it behind and not feel guilty, like just feel guilt-free about the whole entire thing. But ultimate goal our goal right now is to pay off this house. And the unfortunate thing is that, like, since I've been feeling so stressed out, I've been taking a week off. I've taken another week and a half off, just feeling like, oh, I can't wait to have this time off and have some time to myself, because my job has been impacting my mental health so much, stressing me out. And the whole time, it's like you think that you come back to work refreshed, but you come back and you're like, nothing's changed. I'm still stressed out. That's how I know it's time to go. And it's time for me to not be in this department anymore, because in the past, it's like you could take time off and then you come back and you feel refreshed and you're like, oh, I needed that. But it's just like, I'm coming back just as stressed, feeling just as done. And it's just time to go. I could be overreacting, and I could just be thinking all these things and just being dramatic, but my feelings are valid. I think what hurts me the most is just how much I care about this department, and just the work I was doing when I was just initially in the department, and feeling so strongly about it, feeling so good about it, being so proud of it. and then getting so far away from that and feeling like I have to get out in order to just be happy again. It's unfortunate. Anyway, like I said, would love to look back at this video in a month and feel like I'm just at a better space, like better headspace. Look back in a year and just remember this as being a part of our journey, my journey. I have had these feelings before. It was about 8 months into working for this company. I was in collections. It was giving me so much anxiety. Whenever I knew someone was about to pick up the phone, I'm like, they're gonna cuss me out. They're gonna be angry. Like, you just always had to deal with someone being mad and it's not your fault. And I knew at that time that I had to leave, or I was gonna leave the company as a whole because I couldn't take it. And it was stressing me out so bad. But the rule within the company was that if you wanted to change departments, if you wanted to do that, you had to be there a year. I'd been there 8 months. Something came up where suddenly they were letting people move before the year. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, this is my chance. And I left and I came to fraud, and I was so happy. I was doing something else within fraud for 2 years. Was happy, but also felt like, okay, I could also move on or move up. Did that. I've been so happy ever since. And now it's at a point where now I'm ready to move on again. So if it was my department, I was in control. There's so many things I would change to just even take it back or something. I do so many things, but I'm not in charge. I'm at a position where people have to tell me what to do and I have to do it, and there's no choice. Like, I have no choice. So that's just where I'm at right now. I really hope that I can find peace in the next step or whatever's next for me. Feel better about what I'm doing, feel more fulfilled. Going from collections to fraud, things were a lot different. I could think about quitting my job and leaving because I was so unhappy. I feel like I had a lot less to lose at that time. It's easier to just like drop it. But I knew I loved the company and I really didn't want to leave. But back then I didn't have any kids. I had an apartment, was newly married. We had a ton of debt, but regardless, at that point, I'm just like, whatever. Like, if I'm not happy and this is terrible and I can't take this, like, I'm gonna go. And the year before that, in 2015, literally had like 8 jobs in 2015. And I, like, literally, if I wasn't happy, I would just leave. So all that to say, it's just like, obviously with all these thoughts, sometimes you think about, you know, should I just quit? It's not a choice, obviously. Me and my husband are a team, and that's something that we would have to be on the same page about. I don't want to do that at the end of the day, but the thought crosses your mind, just like thoughts cross your mind all day that you'd never do. I would not leave this job. I'm so thankful for it. I'm so grateful. But the thought crosses my mind of like not working, or you think about people in this world who don't have to work, or they do other things to make money, whether it's like content creation and they're successful at it enough to actually make money, or whatever they do. There's so many people out there, and people out there make money off of doing other things. Honest things, obviously, legal things, things like that, and honest living, basically. So it makes me think about that. It makes me think about not working. I want to work with this company for a very long time. Like, that's just it. I love stability. Change is so hard for me. It's not something that I want to do willingly at all. So the fact that I'm even at the point now where I'm like, there's nothing left for me but to change, that's how you know I'm so uncomfortable. Paying off this house is something that I want so bad, and I feel like we're so close, and I know that I'm working myself more right now, specifically for the goal of paying off this house. For example, overtime. It isn't something I've done for the past 2 weeks, but this week I've gotten back into doing it again, even though I'm at almost like the worst mental state when it comes to working. I shouldn't be doing overtime. It's not helping with my burnout at all. I'm doing it because we have to, like, we need that money to pay extra on the mortgage. If I don't do overtime and I don't make that extra money, like, we're not going to do our monthly goals, things like that. So I need to do extra work, even though I'm so burnt out. I shouldn't be doing it. Like, I'm doing overtime, not for the business need, literally only for the extra money. And I know that your job is only a small part of your life, and I actually feel so embarrassed for letting like my job even like upset me this much. I feel like there's like nobody else that I know that gets like this worked up over like a job, but this is like literally been my full-time job since I was literally 19. So like I just being a mom and being a wife and working. I don't know much else than that. If anything that this video could do, I hope that if there's someone else out there that is in a similar position or also feels very strongly about their job. I feel so strongly about like paying off our house and knowing that we need this income to get there. Just another reason why I just can't wait to even pay off house. Because if I wanted to, I could just work part-time, even if it was temporary, and not feel like it takes so much of me. But sometimes I wonder what my life would be like if we didn't have this house to pay off. Sometimes I wonder what my life would be like if we were just regular people and we weren't trying to pay off a mortgage in a ridiculously fast amount of time, and we're just regular people who just paid a minimum payment and just did whatever we want with the rest of our money. And I never did overtime, and like my life wasn't so much of my job. I could already be part-time, something. Sometimes the thought of just what would my life be like without this big financial goal that I have. Like the reason for my stress is not the mortgage at all. It's obviously my job, but the motivation to pay off this house is what also drives me to work as much as I do. Things like that. At the end of the day, hopefully none of this matters in 6 months from now. Hopefully this is all something that's just a little figment of my imagination that I could barely remember. And I really hope that that's the case, because I really feel like I just deserve that so much. But having anxiety really doesn't help, because you can literally lay in bed all night and just think about how is it gonna be in the morning, or how is it gonna be in a week? Like, you just don't know. So anyway, I feel like I've spilled my feelings out enough. This is just I feel like right now it feels so big, and maybe when this house is paid off it'll feel so small. But when we were on a consumer debt-free journey, I didn't document any hard times. I remember some of them, mainly just feeling so exhausted and working so hard. But the small things like this, something that's gonna someday hopefully feel small, but actually being a big part of my journey, like I just didn't document that, and I don't recall enough about it. But this is just, it's so big, and it's gonna be, someday it's going to be the reason, like it's going to be my why, like why we did this. We did this for this. We did this for when you're having time where your mental health is just on a steady decline. You could just like literally go part-time, work part-time, or do whatever you need to do. Take 2 weeks off and just come back and actually feel refreshed, or work less and actually feel like you have a even better work-life balance. If you've watched this whole video, please let me know. If you've watched this whole video and you still want to subscribe to this channel, then I really appreciate that, and you probably will actually more enjoy other videos where I'm not a mess and I'm actually genuinely happy, encouraged, motivated, all of that. But this is real, and I never want anyone to think that anything about this mortgage payoff journey is easy, or the things that come with it, like what's providing us the income to pay it off, my job. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in our next video. Oh, I'm a mess.